Have you ever noticed while scouting a field that the fungicides you applied aren't working as well as they have in the past? Fungicide-resistant pathogens may be part of the problem. Fungicide resistance is when a pathogen population shifts from being sensitive to a fungicide to being insensitive or less sensitive. Even within a pathogen population, there can be variable amounts of fungicide sensitivity. The increase of fungicide insensitivity across pathogen populations is a relatively modern complication. Before 1970, fungicide resistance was rare, but as classes of chemicals with specific modes of action became widely used, fungicide resistance increased. So how does fungicide resistance develop? When we anticipate or notice a disease in the field, we apply fungicides for disease management. The fungal population already has natural genetic variation. A portion of that population are sensitive to a particular fungicide and can be eliminated easily, while others are resistant and may survive even after fungicide application. Each fungicide group we use attacks the fungi in a different way based on the chemical's mode of action. When we spray one fungicide group, we are targeting the natural fungal population and reducing the number of sensitive individuals. This leaves behind resistant individuals to continue to reproduce. Applying the same chemical repeatedly creates a shift in the fungal population, selecting for more resistant individuals over time. The once sensitive fungal population is replaced by a resistant population that can no longer be controlled by a particular fungicide group. Losing an entire fungicide chemistry can be detrimental to the future of disease control, as new fungicide chemistries are limited and are time-consuming to develop. We're beginning to see fungicide resistance develop in some of our crops in North Carolina. Resistance to a group of fungicides classified as the QOIs, or quinone outside inhibitors, has already been identified in frog-eye leaf spotted soybean and tobacco. So how can we prevent fungicide resistance? There's several practices that we can do to reduce the need for pesticides. Reducing the humidity in the crop canopy, destruction of crop debris at the end of each growing season, and managing weeds all help reduce pathogen abundance and survival. Another way to reduce fungicide resistance is to use resistant varieties. The use of resistant varieties is one of the most cost-effective disease management tools and decreases the frequency that fungicides need to be applied. Farmers should select a variety that fits their agronomic needs and their disease pressure needs based on an understanding of the disease history in their field, which can be accomplished through regular scouting and accurate disease diagnosis. Using resistant varieties will lessen the disease pressure in a field and, in turn, will reduce the amount of fungicide applications and the amount of fungicide exposure for a population. Appropriately using a pesticide by following the product label for a given pathosystem should provide the necessary protection for disease management. Over-applying a fungicide or applying fungicides at sublethal rates can increase the risk for fungicide resistance development. Chemical rotation using different modes of action for each application is necessary to prevent fungicide resistance development. Continued use of a mode of action selects for insensitive pathogen populations, resulting in fungicide-resistant pathogen populations that we'll now need to control. Using the FRAC code number that's located on the pesticide label will help you choose a different mode of action for your fungicide schedule. So what is a FRAC code? The Fungicide Resistance Action Committee, an organization that specifically works with fungicide resistance, has developed codes for each mode of action. In this document, you can find information on the mode of action, target site and code, group name, chemical or biological group, common name, type of resistance, including low levels, medium, and high levels, and the FRAC code number. Hopefully, by using a combination of these tools, we can reduce fungicide resistance development in our most vulnerable crops.